There's an India epic called the Mahabharata. It's the Great War. It's a war between two clans from the same family that they decide to fight each other. In the middle of the story, there's the the battle itself, where two armies are facing each other, and one of the generals for this army, Arjuna, he's with his charioteer, the person riding his horses, leading his horses. And when Arjuna looks at the opposing army, when he has to say charge, has to lead his army to battle, he thinks twice and tells his charioteer, Krishna, which was Krishna himself, that he can't go, he can't fight, he can't battle, because these people are my cousins, they are people my uncles and people that I have known for my whole life, and I respect and I love, and I can't think about going there and slaying them. It would be better for me to lose everything or even to die. In the most important moment, he refuses to go into battle, and his charioteer, that was Krishna, he said, if you go there, you kill, you die, it doesn't matter. You have to go and fight. And at the point that Arjuna, he surrenders to Krishna, he said, so teach me. How, how can I see the way you see? Teach me the things you're telling me, talking to me about. And in this exchange is when Krishna delivers what is the Bhagavad Gita. Within the story of the Mahabharata, in the middle of the whole story, the Bhagavad Gita is there, and where in the story where Krishna teaches Arjuna about karma yoga, the yoga of action. There's something there about Arjuna in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, that he refuses to fight, and he is told that he has to, because if it's if because it is his duty, because that's what he's for, because it is his reason of being. No? And we can relate it to this because many times we don't want to do the things we want. We don't want to do the things that we have to do. Sometimes we promise things to ourselves, and in the moment that we have to do it, we decide I'm not going to do it, because we create excuses, we create we self defeat ourselves, and it has negative consequences to us. Every time we fail to act on things that we must do, it makes us weaker and it makes us small. There's something about the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita about someone's duty, or someone's nature. What is your nature in terms of Arjuna? No, in Arjuna's nature, he's a warrior. I don't remember the word right now exactly, so I won't try to say it. But in the Indian ancient system of society, the society was distributed or divided, no, as thought as a body. The body has the head, the torso, the arms, the legs, the foot, and there was a caste system, and within the caste system, each caste performs different duties in the society. For instance, the the religious caste Brahmin, they represented the head. Then you have the farmers, the leg, and the military caste Kshatriya. I believe it's Kshatriya, the name. They're represented by the arms. So they are the arms of the society. And these were the rulers of these ancient societies as well, and it ruled the societies, not along with but supported by the religious caste, the Brahmin caste. And in this type of societies, the each each person has a profession. The family has one profession. Let's say the warrior's profession. The grandfather is a warrior. The father, the son, the grandson, the great great grandson. There will always be lineages and lineages of warriors, for instance. So this is their duty. This is their nature. Thinking about what's the nature of something and what's what the thing for. Let's imagine a chair. A chair. What's the nature of a chair? The chair is to be seated on. So this is the essence. The chair is only completed when it can be seated on by someone, if I can say it in a clear way. So as this kshatriya, this warrior caste, their nature, the essence is to be a warrior. So their duty, their ultimate goal in life is to fight, regardless if they have to slay or to be slayed. And that's what happens in this story. That the warrior, the greatest warrior, the general of the armies, he trembles, no, he freezes in the moment of battle, and then he has to be reminded that you have to do, you have to go, you have to do, because this is what you're made for. So regardless of the outcome, regardless of who you're fighting against, this is what you're made for. So because this is your duty. We set goals in our life, and we say like, I want to be this, I want to do this, I want to do that, and sometimes the things, they don't happen. Sometimes they don't happen because we set goals that are not realistic, because we don't have the motivation to do them, because sometimes even because of life circumstances. Every time we set us up and we promise ourselves that we are going to do something, we have to do them. We have to do the thing we promise ourselves. And the same thing when we promise something to someone else. We have to keep our word. Let's try to relate it to our topic, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Thinking about a child that chooses to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, of course, with the support of the parents. And children, sometimes they want to go to do the thing, sometimes they don't, sometimes they don't want to go to training, sometimes they change their mind. and it happens that a child can change his mind or her mind overnight. But then this comes the sense of duty, the sense of responsibility, that it has to be reinforced by the parents. If a child, for instance, if a child agrees, likes something, and something as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and the child decides, I would like to do it, and the parents say, okay, let's do it, let's start. We have to understand children, that their emotions, they're still unstable. Because they're immature, they're children, they're immature. And it's important for parents to, in this case, to give them a sense of responsibility, trying to make them understand that if you choose to do something, you have an obligation to be responsible enough to carry on with what you have chosen to do. Imagine, and it happens a lot with children, because sometimes they wake up, I don't want to do it today. And okay, you don't do it. But then you're not fostering their sense of responsibility, which is different from forcing someone to do something against their will. You see, there is a line there that we have to be very sensitive to, this line, to not cross the line. How much you can persuade someone, a child, to continue an activity that is an enjoyable activity, because the child has to enjoy as well. And the line is forcing someone to do something completely against their will. See, so then there should be a balance there. There should be a balance, that the child has to understand that there are certain minimal responsibilities that they must have. Okay, you have to go, let's say, go to jiu-jitsu twice a week. If you want to do, you're gonna do. You have to be here for twice a week here. Come here for training twice a week for an extended period of time. And that's it. There are no excuses. Monday, Wednesday training is Monday, Wednesday training, because this is your duty, because this is what you chose, you have chosen to do. This helps children to manage their expectations. If they understand in the beginning of the journey what it is, what it entails. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as all the martial arts, they are long-term commitments. If you want to take anything out of it, it isn't a 1 month, 2 month commitment. So after the first month, let's say that is a trial period for the child. Okay, is it something that you really enjoy? Why do I say from the first month? Because of course the child may not have enough information in the first or second visit. So throughout the whole month, the child would be able to say if there's something they would like to carry on. Okay, so they have a choice. They get exposed to something through a period of time, up to the point that they can gather enough information to make an assessment within their own capacity of if this is something they would like to carry on or not. And then at this point, I believe that the parents, they have the role of explaining that this is a commitment, which is a long-term commitment, and it requires, let's say, let's call it two visits per week. And it's a long-term commitment, because you're talking about, because any type of progress that you will see, you will only see from after the first year, and some kids the second year, let's call it this way. And then throughout the initial period, which is the first 3 6 months that the child is coming, there's an acclimatization as well. So sometimes the children decide, I not want to go, I don't feel like going today, and it's where the fathers, they have to persuade a little bit harder the child, and make them go, because this way we create routines, we create sense of responsibility, sense of duty, and consistency, and then for the long term, results would come out from this investment from the child. The relationship of what I'm saying, uh, compared to the story of Arjuna, is that if you have a responsibility, if you have a duty, if you are meant to do something, you cannot just choose to not do it. You have to do it. This idea, in my view, it's an idea that as soon as children understand that when they commit to something, they have to do it, the better is for them. Because in my case, I teach Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. In my case, this is the tool that I use to support children to learn their sense of responsibility. However, the sense of responsibility of going, having the duty to go to jiu-jitsu training twice a month for a long period of time, and we are talking about years, children learning this from jiu-jitsu, as well as other attributes as well, but this, they will be able to apply to other aspects of their life. Learning behavior or attributes by going to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and applying it in other aspects of their life. Having, if they can strengthen their sense of duty and responsibility by following a routine, going to the dojo, wearing an uniform, lining up, it will be easier for them when they have to go to the school, when they have to sit down and study, when they have to research some information to do some type of homework, when they have to take care of their own belongings, when they have to take care of their pets. It's like having a pet, and they have to feed, they have to maintain the pet, they have to take care of the pet. So it's a duty. It's like giving a living being to a child. Say, look, you have some responsibilities over this living being, so you have to do it. There are certain things that you will have to do daily, which, let's say, change the food, water, cleaning the space, basic things that children from a certain age will be able to do. And making them understand that they have to, because it's their duty. And in this case, there's another living being um, depending on them. Having the discipline to go to jiu-jitsu, having the discipline to put the uniform on, taking care of the uniform, lining up, and there's some rituals. No, let's call it some rituals done inside the dojo. These things, they help the children to be better persons.